We are live. Crypto winter is over. Ethereum is going up. I got 2 charts to prove it. Interested? Don't go anywhere. I'm Bill Noble, and this is the market update. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live, and if the content works for you, smash the like button. Let's welcome who is first on the stream. We have Wrong Again. Okay, AZ is here. Joseph from California, welcome. Lot more crypto, right? Shizzy L, right? Daydream is here. Madrid, welcome. Minnesota, Crypto Crazy, K-Real, right? Let's see, who else we have? Mr. Moby Dick is back, saying Bitcoin looks like it's starting to break out again. Nothing starting about it. I mean, you got the right idea. I get it. You're on track. But listen, this thing is going to go. Jamie Dimon is short Bitcoin and gold. More on that in a minute. Okay, Willimeter from East Tennessee is here. Donna, the lovely Donna, is in the house. Crypto Funds, Joseph Ryan, BitBoy Al, welcome. Welcome to the show. K9 Crypto. Andre, yo, Bill, are the next few months going to be tradable, meaning not illiquid? I think you're going to have liquidity. The best liquidity will be when crypto resets the range. In between now and then, you may have limited sellers. That's my guess. Okay, Bulgaria is here. Somebody looking for a Helium update. Welcome. Okay, we have and Joseph Ryan encouraging you to hit the like button. All right. This stream goes out to everybody who's out there keeping the University of Texas athletes on the field. Physical therapy, rehab, massage, hook 'em horns. Uh-oh. Bank of America glitch sends customers into a panic over missing funds. Oops. My bank account's not my bank account anymore. The Iranians, the North Koreans, the Russians, you name it. Poof. Not your keys, not your crypto. All I've talked about over the last 3 months is that you need diversification in how you pay for things. Right? Something can happen to banks. Something happen to the banking system. Something can happen to the electronic payments network. Reports of gold death are greatly exaggerated, ironically, from the institutional arm of the same bank. Gold is probably got a chance at going parabolic. I was thinking gold might lead ETH. Now I got a chart that said ETH is going to lead everything. ETH is going to go and gold is going to follow. It's literally one of the better charts I think I've done in 6 months. Binance named as a counterparty in FinCEN order against an exchange. They're obsessed with FUD. Yes, they have to report the news, but price matters more than FUD. The government charges SBF with defrauding investors. Good. This is what these guys are supposed to do. They're supposed to nail real serious bad guys. So ironically, not only is the market obsessed with the FUD, but in this one particular isolated example, you actually have the government doing its job. I know that, there's nothing about these guys that we like. Gensler is hosed, but restoring integrity to the market is bullish. U.S. reaches debt limit amidst showdown and extraordinary measures. Oops, we spent too much money. A disconcerting headline if you're a citizen. Banks with missing funds. Governments spending themselves into oblivion. One has to wonder what all the people who were long the U.S. dollar forever were ever thinking given this headline. Peter Thiel, I guess from PayPal, made more than $1 billion offloading 8 years of crypto investments just before the market went down. Good for him. Sell in May and go away. Now, here's what's funny. He held crypto for 8 years. That's a long time. Is it possible that he sold it, avoided the losses, but that the vision that he had 8 years ago, Satoshi's vision, is about to happen? Because if you look at like Capital One, Discover, and all the bank earnings that have come out, the government spending headlines, is it possible that guys like this are going to have to buy back in? Like, okay, he sold it. He protected his company. I got it. But what happens when he's got to buy back in? Is there going to be liquidity there? Okay. Richard Barry is asking, how can you tell hedge fund managers are worried about missing out? I want to know how to predict this for myself. When it doesn't go down, like when it goes down and just stops, like it looks like it's going to zero, like yesterday, right before the Department of Justice was going to declare crypto illegal, like we were all scared about. And everyone goes, oh my God, what's happening? And it just stops. It starts to grind back the other way. That means they don't have it. Meaning they're just going to get any dip. They don't care what the news is on. In other words, their need to have it is much greater than their fear of whatever happened last year. It's almost like blind dip buying. At least it's just like, I've seen this from equities. Fight to win. It's not investment advice. It's something that was brought to our attention. It's a pre-sale of like an earn to win or a workout to earn. Sorry. A workout to earn thing where your UFC fighter, you can work out, earn merch, and then participate in your fighter can participate in the metaverse. So for guys who used to like to do martial arts like me, whose fighting days are over, you can now fight in the metaverse. Very interesting small cap play. Absolutely not investment advice. Can go to zero. Stepping, interesting in the beginning. Lots of people made money and then unloaded it. So if these guys fix the tokenomics, I like the metaverse angle of the fighter in the ring. SBF, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and the spectacular hangover after the NFT gold rush, says the geniuses at Vanity Fair. Thank God we have C+ students in journalism at Vanity Fair to tell us how to trade. Disaster sells better than price, hence focusing on price. U.S. weekly jobless claims unexpectedly fell. Now, this is an interesting piece of news. So it doesn't show mass layoffs. That's okay because employment is a lagging indicator. Interesting to see that people who are looking to hire are actually filling their orders are getting filled. Meaning people are now willing to take jobs probably at lower income levels. That's a guess. So this is neither good nor bad, but the fact that people are actually getting jobs is a good thing. Standoff about U.S. debt ceiling problematic for car makers. What's problematic for car makers is that interest rates are too high, car prices are too high because of rising costs of materials. So I'm not really sure how this ends, but it sounds like it ends badly. Subprime auto loans, meaning you take everybody's little auto loan and package it together into a security. I can't see how that goes well with bank stocks collapsing. More on that later. Expect better blockchain games in 2023. Wow, let me clean off my glasses here. Did somebody just say something bullish about gaming in the metaverse? Come on, people. Metaverse is not going anywhere. Everyone just forgot about it. I don't know why. National Australia Bank launches a stablecoin. Uh-oh. Here comes central bank digital currencies, but they used Ethereum and Algorand to do it. So, okay, Web3 has a pulse. CBDCs are awful. I've changed my mind. But here's an idea. The government or governments understand Web3. Why don't you? Jamie Dimon. I mean, governments want to be in crypto. And Jamie is on CNBC saying crypto is no good. Not funny. Okay. Now, I am going to do Wall Street war stories early. You're still going to stay tuned for this unbelievable Ethereum chart, and we'll do all kinds of other charts because we're going to do PowerPoint and live TA, actually a mix together. But I haven't been able to ever find video of where I worked at the Chicago Board of Trade in the bond room. The bond room was so epic that there's a quote from this movie that said the physicality of the pit itself, I worked outside of it, but the physicality of the pit itself, people were penned in so tight that they could lift their feet off the floor and stay upright. That was the extent to which people were packed in. And here's just a video of what the bond pit looked like. I used to signal to guys that would stand on the outside of these rails facing in the opposite direction. Right? And this was this epic yelling and screaming match that occurred every day, which has been replaced by red and green buttons electronically. Now, let's go to what could be the second most interesting chart I've done this year. So this is Ethereum. And I have something that shows there was a bottom in 2016, a bottom in 2018, and using Fibonacci mathematics, the next inflection point was December of 2022. I also have something that shows from the bottom of December 18th to the COVID low was 63 weeks. This is a weekly chart. And for Ethereum, from the high in November all the way out until like this week, that's about 63 weeks. Okay, I'm going to try to draw the fib time thing live. So there's the bottom in 2016. Click. And there's the bottom in 2018. Click. Okay. This device, I learned this technique, this indicator for Fibonacci time. Fib time zone is the indicator. I learned this when I worked at Crypto IQ under Charlie Shrem by a guy named Noah Hornhairs. And he's like, you know, I don't know if I would trade off this, but this is really interesting. Because in Gann, you want to use time and price. This is like built into TradingView. So you can look at time, like major lows, and then compare that to price. So here with this rectangle, you can see, you know, you had 63 weeks of Ethereum winter. And from November until now, you had roughly 63 weeks of Ethereum winter. Winter's over. I have a more complex version of this for Bitcoin. I made this myself, got the other one from Noah. Winter's over. That's it. That's the market update. No, I'm kidding. There's more. Let me come off screen share and go to PowerPoint. We have a new system, so it's very important that I not forget to share, even though that is a part of the comedy of the show occasionally. Okay. Here's our Ethereum chart. Note the awful nature of these winters. So 2018 was all the way up, all the way down on COVID. Awful. Awful. Right? There's so much hope and then so much pain, and everybody got washed out. This winter was this like grinding death march lower. Just awful. Right? You know, it was down, sideways, straight down, and then just, it looked like it was going nowhere. I actually think you got a shot at ETH going to 3,500 by the time this is all said and done. I want to be a wild man and say they can do it now. They may have to wait until after March to go all the way to 3,500. I think you're absolutely out of your mind to think that ETH at 1,600 is somehow expensive. It's not. It's $200 above the 2017 high, which is support. Here is the Bitcoin version of winter is over. You had a 155-week period between Jan 15 and Dece 2017. That was a rally period. Then you had a one-year winter. Then you had another 155-week move. Okay, and when you draw it this way, the fib time extension work shows the Bitcoin bottom was already in. And winter is over, and the next cycle goes all the way out until December of 2025. Now, of course, for YouTube, it's awesome hyperbole to be like, winter's over. I got 3 green shirts, and I've ordered 2 more. I know. Sounds good. Got to remember, with these winners, you can go all the way up, all the way back down before it really starts going up again. The point is, you want to be on the right side of the trading move and not get off the boat too early. Right? I think getting off the boat at 1,600, taking trading profits, having ammo is great. But I think this is higher before lower. The previous 4th wave. So if you like Elliott wave, you definitely want to watch yesterday's stream. To recap, when you have an Elliott wave count where it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and the give up trade starts, and then everybody heaves it out for the 5-wave FTX down trade, at a minimum, even if it's a bear market, the market will touch the high of the previous 4th, or in English, or said plainly, it'll just unwind the give up trade. So people go, oh, I give up. And then they go, oh, I changed my mind. And it just kind of all unwinds itself. Not complicated, right? Yeah, that's ETH 3,500. That's ETH 3,500. Okay. Okay, we have Tulsa, Oklahoma here. Welcome. Okay, somebody's asking about a clarification on December of 2018. Okay. December of 2018 on winter was when I had to live with Bitcoin going to like 3K and ETH going to 80. And I actually wrote an article that Bitcoin was going to go to 1,500 before I realized that I made the bottom by being bearish. Okay. I know we had HNT, and somebody wants me to look at Harmony. I saw Enjin Coin moving. You know what else I saw moving? Raven, which is the tokenization of everything. Grandpa Rock is here. Andre, welcome. Iron Alien in the house. Aiken wanted to be in the pit. SEO from London. Our friends from England are back, right? Village Cooking says, I used to think it was crazy, as in pit trading. Now it's nostalgic. Pit trading was both. I was a signal clerk outside the pit. So I would get a phone call and somebody would tell me to buy 100 at 8. I would signal that to somebody who would then turn around and have his person execute the order in the pit and send an order back to me saying, you bought 100 at 8, you're filled. And then I would tell that to the person on the phone, hoping that the person on the phone didn't change their mind about the quantity and price while I was signaling it. I'd have to signal all that in too. So that's kind of how that all worked, right? Rave Song Records, Chicago representing. Yes, that was all done in bonds at the Chicago Board of Trade. And Poland is here. Welcome, Jan. Welcome. Okay, continuing down. Bitcoin probe and go. A Justice Department probe? No, a probe of resistance. So in Bitcoin, we talked about this yesterday. One of the things that it's been doing this year is it'll go up. Everybody will sell, afraid of the knife experience. It'll come back down. And then once the selling doesn't make prices go lower, right? It hits resistance, it comes off, but it doesn't go down. Then everybody piles in. This is hedge funds not having it. Probe and go the sequel. Here we are at a fib speed resistance line. What have they thrown at this market? The Department of Justice, Jamie Dimon, Davos, what? How much FUD can we have? Vanity Fair, NFT debacle. It's everywhere. Fade all of it. All of it. Fade all of it. If Bitcoin goes up here like it has, sits here for 4 or 5 days and doesn't go down, then the people who have to buy it are just going to have to bid it up, right? They're probably going, oh my God, thank God that at least there are some sellers here so I can get some liquidity. Because if they have really big orders to fill, they may not get the liquidity they have because everyone's already sold out. Oh, like Peter Thiel from PayPal. Oh, I sold my crypto. I took my profits. Well, good for you. You can't get fired taking profits. But what you don't want to miss is the whole reason Satoshi invented crypto to begin with. Spin is in. Bull Runner is here. Village Cooking is back. Never a dull moment. Welcome. PAXG Gold. Gold. This chart is dedicated to pancakes and peanut butter. Gold could go parabolic. Silver is ready to go. PAXG is doing a pause that refreshes right before it gets hot again. Bullish gold, bullish crypto, come get me. GBTC, a potential world-ending story from last year. Previous fourth wave in GBTC is at 33. GBTC now around 12. GBTC trades at a substantial Bitcoin, a substantial discount to the 600,000 Bitcoin held by the fund. What does that mean? That means GBTC, if you plug it into like legacy financial math, should be a lot higher than it is, particularly if Bitcoin is a lot better than we think it is. And of course, there's ETHE, which I just can't shut up about, where there's the next resistance at 12 and my little model about how ETHE behaves at the change of season. Whatever it was doing into the change of season, it reverses. So it was down into the start of winter around the winter solstice in late December, and now it's going to be up into spring. I mean, you can come at ETHA. I mean, what were we doing today with ETH? Fib, time cycles, changes in the seasons. Crypto 007, we appreciate that. Say no more. Right? My camera gets cut off when alerts come through. All right. We will take a note of that. I will make sure that that gets sorted out. All right. Producer said he just fixed that issue. We appreciate the feedback. Synthetix. Anybody remember altcoins? Synthetix. A bird on a wire getting ready to fly, or a bump and run off a trend line. Oh my God. What does this market need? A coin from the last cycle to come back from the dead. I'm guessing Cardano, right? Could be QNT, although I don't know if QNT ever was dead. Man, would I like to see something from the world of derivatives, right? Synthetix, maybe NFTs. Raven coin was up there, right? Purple Roads Crypto. Jazz Gill liking Synthetix. Listen, the whole give up trade, the whole post FTX debacle started at 4. Synthetix is at 2. Sometimes it's that simple. Okay, let's quickly get over. Wrong again thinks total crypto market cap is a bird on a wire. Let's bang out Helium God, is there any hope for this thing after the way it traded? So I don't even know what you can do with a regular chart. I think maybe you got to go to 89-minute. And say, okay, here's helium. It went to $1. And recently it came off. Let's do 4 hour. All right, I got to share. There we go. Okay. So helium comes down, gets close to the 23% retracement. Be interesting to see if anybody's interested in buying it down here. If you want to be positive, I think if helium takes out 3.25, it's got a shot at 4.5. Everybody's altcoin's not going to make it. I hope yours does. Okay. All these altcoins from the last cycle have to reinvent themselves. Right? Jeff reminding me to share. Appreciate that. Big Rich is back. Asking about RNDR. I'm starting to recognize a lot of the people who used to watch the market update on another channel. Appreciate y'all coming back. Oh, man. You know, I got to tell you something. This whole metaverse thing, you know, I saw Arweave was up huge. Keep thinking when I look at this metaverse stuff that if they ever came out with anything and they brought this Ready Player One kind of excitement back, they never brought that back. There was this huge hype trade and then it just died. I don't know how they bring it back. I just know that if they ever do, okay. Right. So RNDR on a weekly basis, the question you ask yourself is, has anything changed? So RNDR has been going sideways, breaking some of these fib speed resistance lines, and nothing much has been happening. It's been boring, but it recently broke through one of them and has showed signs of life. Now, if RNDR goes crazy, it's at 46 cents. Frankly, I don't show resistance until $2 using this structure. Or you can use a previous fourth structure in this and get a different number. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, here comes RNDR. Okay, getting there. Okay, so no real Elliott wave count to work with here on the daily chart. But sometimes when things go down a certain way, they can go back up the same way. And I'm seeing support at 51 cents. Don't fade the metaverse. Don't fade the metaverse. Okay, Big Rich is saying, you know, we need you, man, for the move from 2023 to 2025. Carlos is here. Welcome. What did you miss? You missed a cool Ethereum chart where Ethereum winter is over. Okay? It's over. We got 100 messages in the chat. Nice. Appreciate all of you. If I could hit the like button for you guys, I would. Okay? Let's take a look at, I don't know, XPT. Do I have that in here? Nope, don't have that. Okay, somebody was talking about Harmony. One of the things I'd note, or I would be doing with any chart that you had, okay, is the former ceiling the floor, right? The ceiling on December 6th in Harmony, they broke out above it, they came back down, and now they're buying it. all these altcoins seem to have a bid on a dip. Wolf Stigma is here. Welcome. Jazz Gill, VRA. I remember people asking about VRA. Welcome back. And when you see this, try to find where the previous fourth would be in some of these coins. Okay. So in VRA, the previous fourth was right there, and it's managed to pop its head through there. Now, of course, there is this November 6th resistance point, right? So people are selling there. I get it. If they sell whatever you're looking at and it doesn't back off, look out. Okay. Oliver Thomas is back. Welcome. Let's see. XD. I have XDC. METIS is dropping. Someone's asking, do I know what's going on? The answer is no. I'm not up on the fundamentals of this. What I can do is look at a 90-minute chart and maybe give you a support level. So METIS on a 90-minute chart has a 13 bottom as of right now. The last 13 bottom gave you a modest uptick. If you're into METIS, you should see a bid now. You should see a bid now. Oliver giving me the sheepdog love. It's nice to see you again. VAI I don't have on DeMark. Okay, here comes the VAI chart. I have to sort of stretch it out and get it sorted here. Okay, so if this is what I'm thinking it is, the key level is 0.108. Okay, somebody at Matthias asking about GLDN. GLDN, the native token of my employer, Gold Retriever, known as the money that you buy water. The money used to buy water. Pays you an auto staking reward in Pax Gold. So the same way you used to have to buy Ethereum to trade on Uniswap and buy Synthetix before it was listed on a centralized exchange, you have to get GLDN if you want to buy BARC, the water token. What's a water token? It's a pricing mechanism to get water from Greenland to places like Arizona that don't have water. So GLDN is a highly volatile instrument. So there are going to be other tokens that pair with GLDN in a commodity world. Now, I understand that there's a lot of confusion out there. People go, wow, they hear about this water token. They go, how do I get involved? Well, this is not investment advice. I own this token and BARC, so here's how it works. You have to put ETH in a MetaMask wallet, say. You have to go to Uniswap, and you can buy GLDN. That's the ETH of the commodities world. Then, right then and there, you can go on Uniswap from GLDN to BARC. You just can't go straight from ETH to BARC. So if you got ETH in a MetaMask wallet, you're one trade, two trades to get to BARC. The pricing mechanism for that Greenland water to get to the drought-stricken areas. I'm calling a travel agent when the stream's over. I'm going to Greenland. Okay, Language Trainer is here. SFG, welcome. Right? Language Trainer got some BARC today. All right, here's a summary of today's stream. I got to cut it short. Let me give you the details. ETH, winter over. Bitcoin, 24K. ETH, 3,500 by the end of the summer minimum. Water, gold. Think about it. That's the market update. I'll